No way to tell if it's actually. It says, "Oh, there's the counter." It's weird doing it from StreamYards, and you never know when it starts until the timer goes. Because sometimes you'll click it and the timer will start immediately, and then other times you click it and you get nothing. Welcome to the Pow-wow stream. I am your host, Johnny Hillcat, and with me, per usual, is Hey Camel.
We are gathered here today to mourn the death of Johnny's single life. It had a good long run. How you doing, man? Mazel tov, by the way.
I barely slept last night, and it wasn't for any nerves or anything. It's just
the usual sleep schedule of someone who works the third shift.
Yeah. Well, I usually work. Well, I was supposed to work last night, but I took it off. So, of course, everything was kind of weird.
Yeah, I told the girlfriend this morning. I was like, "Yeah, he's getting hitched today." I told you. As soon as he said he was getting the marriage license, I told you it'd be soon.
Yeah, well, they had to be within 180 days. So.
Yeah, I was figuring, you guys went ahead and got it. Maybe you hadn't set the date yet. I don't know. I mean, I've never been married, so excuse me for being ignorant.
Yeah. Well, and
that's what I told her too. I was like, well, excuse me for never being, married and or divorced.
Well, and I was talking with a gal that I had actually married, her and her husband, and they had a hitch with the paperwork.
Oh yeah.
And so when I bumped into them, they pretty much go, "Hey, how's the paperwork work out?" And she goes, "Oh, we didn't file it. We have to fill out the whole thing again." I'm like, "Oh, well."
Right, Mr. Scott? Now imagine if you were sitting here on stream and you just watched him staring at you. Your avatar's freaking him out, man.
It's supposed to. It's all about mind games.
And it seems like your cat there has a bit of a lazy eye, I've noticed.
It's the way the light's hitting me. It's kind of.
Is it making you squint in just the right eye?
It's just sort of like.
Unfortunately, Mr. Scott, FaceRig doesn't have a camel avatar. Otherwise, I'd be, sitting there staring at you just as creepily as Johnny is. FaceRig is racist, man. They're speciesist, is what it is. And my people have suffered this indignation for far too long. We want reparations. We want our own FaceRig model, and we want it yesterday. Good morning, Sora. Are you yawning now, or is this just a delay in the... Okay, maybe it's just a delay in the video.
Yeah. No, we're not married yet. It'll be, what time is it? 11:42.
Got a couple more hours.
I'm going to go pick up my boys at 1. Get them dressed and go off about another. It's about a half hour or so out of town, and then we're going to get pictures done at 2, and then the wedding will be at 3.
Now, are you going to like kidnap her onto your tribal lands to make it official, or keep it traditional?
Being that I don't know traditional white people laws, I'm just going to plead the fifth on that one.
Just hog tie her, throw on the back of a horse, and abscond. So when did you guys actually decide, like, all right, let's go ahead and pull the trigger on this? Like, I mean, obviously it was before you got the marriage license.
Actually, it was the day that we got the marriage license.
All right, so I'm giving you too much credit already.
No, we had talked about getting married for a while, but most of the time that we spent talking about it, we're just like, yeah, we'll do it eventually. And then one day she's just like, well, we're gonna get the marriage license today, and I'm like, okay.
So eventually, sometime in the next 6 months. Good to know.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh yeah, by the way, we should do this next week
before it gets cold. I don't imagine anybody wants to be a bride in the middle of winter, especially up there. Oh yeah, Sora's wondering, did you have to put her in your sack?
Once again, not knowing white man's laws, I am pleading the fifth on that one.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's a Kazakhstani tradition, not the American or white people. It depends on how you define white, I guess, doesn't it?
That's true.
Does Borat count?
I'm going to see if I can make my face less twitchy by closing this window.
Oh, now you're getting self-conscious about it. Yeah, that doesn't seem to bother you when you're just staring at me dead-eyed like that. Hey, Costin, how's it going?
Hey, Costin.
Do you by any chance happen to have like a Streamlabs or a PayPal or something where someone could send you like a wedding gift donations?
I don't have anything set up at this time. I was
if you never got that Cash App like I told you, I would have sent you some money for like
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the Cash App thing.
Like when I set it up, I didn't have anybody that's like referring me. So I think if you have like a referral code or something from somebody who has it, you each get $5 or something like that starting out. I think that's part of their pyramid scheme to get everyone using it.
Yeah.
So I guess if you do sign up, use my Cash App and maybe you'll get $5 for your wedding, and then I'll send you something later. Oh, Sora likes the face rig. Of course, the woman thinks it's cute. It's creepy. It's creepy as hell, man. At least you're not staring at me directly. Fuck you.
Like that?
Fuck you. Yes, like that. That's. I knew you were gonna do it as soon as I said it. I just couldn't help but vocalizing my disdain for when you do that.
All blankets will be put in the incinerator because fool me once, fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. At least that's how the.
That reminds me, I should probably check up on my smallpox vaccine. Don't those wear out eventually now, don't they?
I believe they do.
Ain't that some shit? Like I thought when I got that, I was getting it for life. Now apparently it's like tetanus. You got to get a booster or some shit. That's how they're going to get us, Johnny. They're going to get us with a booster. We spent our whole lives like, oh yeah, man, we good. You ain't getting us with that shit again. Make all the blanket jokes you want. I'm safe. And all of a sudden, man, you go in one day for a checkup, you come out coughing. Damn, I really am starting to sound like Jack with the conspiracy. See what you people have done to me? I'm starting to hear it now. That's the scary part. I'm starting to hear it.
Okay. I just looked up to see if you need to update your smallpox vaccine.
Source says about every 10 years or so, she thinks.
The third question is, why do we no longer vaccinate for smallpox? I think they still do.
Yeah. Like I got one as a kid. Unless they cut it off sometime after. It wasn't until like after I got all my vaccines that people started talking about fucking Oh, it gives kids autism. What was it about like people born
Was that
after
just
the 80s?
polio?
No, I think we still do polio vaccinations too.
Oh yeah. No, I am very much.
Oh, she's saying at least for tetanus you need a booster shot every 10 years. Okay. Yeah, I learned that little fact when I was working at a scrapyard. You know, you ever have a piece of metal go through like a work boot? It's not fun.
I would not think so.
Yeah, like you're just walking along, all of a sudden you're just bleeding from the feet and you don't know why.
Tuberculosis is optional vaccination, I think.
But I mean, honestly, Sora, how many lungers do we have these days? Come on now. Seems like a waste of resources.
I have a conspiracy theory that anti-vaxxers are meant to control the population.
Good evening, Mr. Dex. How's it going?
Yeah, your stream's going faster than mine. Hey, Mr. Dax.
Well, that's a first because usually mine's lagging behind yours.
Oh, there he is. Never mind. Hey,
So,
sir.
just kind of curious here. Will there be like a theme to this wedding at all? Might I
Yeah,
suggest maybe like Dances with Wolves or?
get in, get hitched, and get the hell out. It's a quickie. There's no theme
Oh,
to it.
come on, man! You could dress up like Kevin Costner. She could dress up like Mary McDonnell. Hey, Eddie. It could be a whole thing, man. You guys really should have thought this out before you know.
Well, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do an actual
Like ceremony.
ceremony later on.
Ah, okay. Then
So
I submit that suggestion for the ceremony.
get someone with the horse.
You go see if you can get like Graham Greene to officiate the ceremony, man. You dress up like I said. You go fucking Costner. She goes McDonald. And then when people get pissed because that's racist, like I got a card, bitch. This is on the level.
I thought about because I think we do have cards in our tribe. I've been lazy and hadn't called in, but I was going to see if I can get one sent to me, just so I could be like, bam, I'm one of you.
I think Daniel Day-Lewis is a little bit too much of an actor man for that to be an enjoyable ceremony, Sora. Wasn't that kind of a depressing movie too? Wasn't he supposed to be like the last of the Mohicans? It's in the title. I don't think I'd want my wedding to have that kind of theme. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I don't need him going off and being like, they killed my boy.
Well, no, I just meant like
that's not even the right movie, sir.
Like you're the Indian in this scenario, man. If that's the theme. It's a bit of a downer. So
yeah, it's too short term. There are a few people on YouTube I would invite. Quite a few. Friends.
now, I think I asked you this offline, but
I can call it Monkey Con. Have everyone come on.
Oh man, can you imagine like the toasts? One a happy wedding, 4 weddings and a funeral. I think you're missing the gist here, Sora. Again, that sounds depressing. I have to admit I've never watched 4 weddings and a funeral.
It's 5 of the same thing.
I was gonna say it's like it sounds like a bit of a downer to me. And I'm pretty sure it's one of those British movies too, isn't it?
No, I think it's American. I just think that it was uh,
Hey,
Married with
Quinn, how's
Children.
it going?
It's a Married with Children line.
Hmm?
It's a Married with Children line.
Oh, about them being the five of the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I was saying I'm pretty sure that's a British movie.
Hey, Quinn.
Let me get the IMDb here. Yeah, it's a Hugh Grant movie. It's definitely British.
Oh yeah, it's definitely never mind.
And don't give me none of that. Oh, Andy McDowell shit.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
One American out of an entire British movie does not count.
Okay, I think the rule is if Hugh Grant is the male lead, that's a British movie.
Yeah.
The only way it becomes an American movie is if he's like a side character.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of. There's no wedding theme on this one.
Mr. Jack suggesting a wedding casino theme.
That's a good way to get money.
Gambling and booze.
Well,
now, see, what would be really funny? What would be really funny is if instead of doing like the stereotypical casino, like do like the De Niro casino.
Am I
like,
a clown here? Do I amuse you?
Yeah. Now go home and get your fucking shine box. Oh man.
Well, it's better than doing a brothel theme or hostel. That's what I meant.
I'm pretty sure either way is probably gonna piss somebody off.
Like,
and now it's not just your girlfriend's mom; it's your mother-in-law.
Hey, Moyo place. And thank you. It's. I now pronounce you man and wife. You may now saw through this gentleman's leg and beat him to death with it.
See, I watched both those movies. I didn't enjoy either one of them. Like, I like horror movies, but torture porn just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'm not into torture porn at all, so it was quite good.
I like the old school like slashers and whatnot. Give me Jason or Freddy any day over like Hostel or Wolf Creek. You know, one that I hadn't thought of in a long time, but popped up on my timeline the other day. Did you ever see The Descent?
Yes.
I watched it all of one time, and I don't remember much about that movie except like it had a scene with like a compound fracture.
Yeah.
Those bug me worse than seeing someone getting like sliced in half or their head cut off or blood spurting, 20 feet. Something about that, like you feel it.
Well, that's like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, you don't even see anyone get killed; you just know that they have.
Yeah. And like the suspense was like waiting to see if like they found the body and seeing what like happened in the aftermath or whatever.
I blame Eli Roth for the Saw franchise and the Final Destination franchise as well.
Well, no, Eli Roth wasn't involved with Saw, was he? He was Hostile in Hostile 2.
No. Yeah, but it bred the Saw franchise. Like, just, oh yeah, people like this movie. Let's see if we can one up it. And then they make a story, and then just let's throw in someone getting really murdered. It's I watched the first one, and I was pretty much done with it.
Yeah, this is a great line of stuff to talk about, seeing as how it is the spooky month, and you're about to pretty much be dead. So
Only
Yeah,
emotional.
horror movies. Yeah, well, I mean, where it counts, emotionally, financially. Ooh, Mr. Scott puts a big one, a good one there. Pinhead versus Freddy versus Jason. Now, was that like one of those celebrity deathmatch? Because that feels familiar. I miss claymation so much. Yeah, I need to go back and I need to start watching some of the old horror movies. Like, have the girlfriend sit down and watch them with me. Like, confiscate her phone and like go full Clockwork Orange. Like, no, you're gonna watch this. Tell me what you think.
Let's see. Um, Early scripts featured a cameo by Hellraiser's Pinhead. So
Oh,
he could have been in that show, but they
Mr. Dax said the Hellraiser had potential for a great lore, but they shat the bed. It happens, man. How many movies did they make? Was it two, three? Did they go past three with Hellraiser?
I think they
I remember watching the first one. I don't recall watching like the second or third ones.
one, two, three, Bloodline, Inferno, Hellseeker,
So what, we're talking like six?
Deader, Hellworld, Revelations, Judgment. So 10.
God damn. Now, Sora says the last Hellraiser is an abomination, but I think they only made it to retain the rights to the IP. That's a shame. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they also have Hellraiser comics. Maybe Mr. Dax has some familiarity with those, and he's comparing the different mediums. But yeah, like it just makes me think, man, how great was the 80s and 90s for like horror movies and stuff? You still there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just
I just kind of saw like looked like you were kind of nodding along, and that's like
I was sharing on Twitter.
ah.
Is what I say.
Well,
Shared.
I need to go. I need to go grab me something to drink real fast because I thought I'd have a little bit more time to pregame this. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm a cat on the edge. No, I haven't read any of the books either. Um, I think people are in such a rush to get this stuff done that it axes the quality. And yeah, it's gross. No, we had just introduced my girlfriend's kid to the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and yeah, I kind of went through some childhood PTSD moments of being raised in the middle of nowhere, woods all around. Like it was very cabin in the woodsy type feel to it. My dad, uh, he we planted trees for the Forest Service so that they could be replanted elsewhere, and so we were surrounded by trees, as it were. Um, yeah, it was definitely a Halloween themed house.
Oh, Mr. Dax is saying he read that the original Pinhead actor refused to play Pinhead in a few of the movies because the script was so dumb.
That's a smart guy.
Well, like I mean, they had to quit doing Robert Englund because the makeup was fucking up his skin for Freddy.
Yeah.
So
Now, have you
could
seen
have.
the new Nightmare on Elm Street?
The one with Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah.
I watched it once. It was meh. I mean, as far as remakes go, they could have done worse, but they tend to, especially with like horror movies and stuff, they try to make it darker and grittier. It's like, I mean, the first one was, it was a pretty good straight up horror movie. Like they didn't really start getting campy with Freddy until what 2 and 3 and so on.
Yeah.
But that's when Freddy
Two,
became fun.
yeah.
Like
2 kind of was.
2 was a straight up gay
Yeah.
horror movie. And I don't say that derogatorily. Like there's a lot of gay shit going on in that one. Like he like ran into like was it his gym teacher at like a leather bar or something?
Yeah.
That was like a precursor for Fight Club because that kid couldn't he just couldn't seem to get to sleep or whatever, right? He was like sleepwalking and shit.
Yeah.
What was 3? Was that the one? Why am I asking? I should just look it up on IMDb.
That's what I am.
Trying to remember what 3 was that started getting kind of wild. 4 was when like they showed he had a daughter, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, 3 was Dream Warriors.
Oh, okay. 3 was Dream Warriors.
That was Patricia Arquette before she lost her goddamn mind. Well, then again, it's the Arquette family, so you really can't be totally shocked. I think 3 was the one with.
Yeah, 3 still had Heather Langenkamp in it. Yeah, she still had Nancy in it.
Yeah.
4, if I'm not mistaken, is the one where like the new female lead it was like written in as like his daughter. I've seen way too many of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I miss Wes Craven.
Yeah, his. I was reading through because we were watching on Amazon, and it has if anyone who uses Amazon, they have what's called the X-ray, which goes through IMDb and will tell you
Gives you
which
behind
actors.
the scenes stuff, yeah.
Tells you which actors are in the scene, general trivia, just stuff about the show. And Freddy Krueger was based upon a homeless guy who was caught peeking in Wes Craven's window. There's some homeless guy that would repeatedly like creep on him.
Johnny, do you remember Freddy's Nightmares?
These nightmares.
Apparently, it was an anthology series with Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger. It was like, it was a two seasons from 88 to 90. I did not hear about this. I'll have to find this. Can you imagine Freddy Krueger playing like the Crypt Keeper? That sounds like fun.
Huh. Interesting.
Where can I watch this? I wonder.
98 to 90.
Yeah, 44 episodes. That's there you go, folks. If you're looking for something for binge watching in the Halloween season.
Yeah. If you can find it.
If it's available. Oh, it's available on Amazon. Or maybe that's just for like buying like the DVD box set or something.
There might be. It looks like there's.
Oh yeah, it's on DVD. Oh, you can get it on VHS for $49.95, guys.
VHS, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it is.
And DVDs, it starts off at $78.28. That's bogus, man. You figure all the stuff that you can stream on Amazon or Netflix or Hulu, and no one's picked this up yet? Really? I'm disappointed. Yeah, Freddy, the dream serial killer, hosts this anthology of stories set in Springwood. That sounds like fun. I'd watch that. Most definitely. But I'm not paying $50 for some tapes.
Yeah, that's
Although I probably have a working VHS somewhere. I'm not knocking VHS, Sora. And good for you for still having your Disney tapes.
No, a few of the clients I have at a few group homes
I'm just assuming that
VHS.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let's say a lot of the clients we have, they all have working VHS sets and tapes. Of course, all of them are like 60 and above. So, well, some of them.
I just imagine that Sora is using those Disney tapes to like re-record like all her rough cuts for her productions, and that's why she keeps them. Just like an old school camcorder.
That old 80s music. Do, 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 do.
The occasional wah wah pedal just for good measure.
The adult lady of culture. There you go.
Be kind, rewind. Oh man.
Oh man.
So I was going to ask before I went to go grab me something to drink to wet the whistle. I'm pretty sure I asked you offline, but did you guys ever come to a determination as to like will Agent 13 become Hellcat or Agent Hellcat, or is it going to be Johnny 13?
She does
is there
not
going to be some
like,
hyphenation?
She does not like the fact that my name is Hellcat. She is of the religious sort, so she doesn't like it. So we will be conjuring a new name for her at the moment. So I told her, I'm like, yeah, we can call you Agent Hellcat. She's like, no, we're not doing that.
See, if I was a rich man just to troll your new bride, I would buy you guys like a Dodge Hellcat.
No, I thought about test driving one.
That would be hilarious if like at the very least like rent one for like the ceremony for like the just married as you drive away.
No,
I wonder how much would it cost to rent one of those things, just for a day. I'll have to look into it. You'll have to give me some heads up for the. You'll have to give me some heads up for the ceremony.
You'll rent one just for the wedding.
Call up Enterprise somewhere in Montana, like, hey, I need to rent a car for the day. So she does not like the Hellcat surname. That's disappointing.
So, well, I thought about it, and it would actually be. She's just like, well, how about Angel Cat? I go, well, that could work for you. But I was running a couple names through my head, and I may have found a couple, but I didn't write them down, so I forgot.
What I thought was funny was last night when you sent that super chat to Lords of the Night about getting hitched. I was like, man, the first thought popped in my head was like, man, she really want to know what's on that flash drive. It's like obviously Johnny didn't warn about what happens with curious cats.
It's this one.
Oh, Mr. Scott says, put your avatar in a Hellcat. There you go. Get you a
That
shop
that was
going.
my stream, my super chat, and people took it as a serious question, which like no, like there's no way in hell end up on Tosh.0 or some shit like that.
Oh no. I remember when completely different subtopic on marriages and whatnot. When my mom got married, what it would have been like 10 years ago. There's a lot of red flags with that dude. First of all, he didn't have any friends to be his best man, so I got to be his best man.
Hey,
Yeah. I was like, all right, man, but I'm not taking you to the strip club. You can just go ahead and nix that.
oh, and Mario Place, thanks for the sub.
But made the mistake of before the wedding, like the night before, we were all hanging out, and me and my younger sister watched I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry with our mom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember like the wedding scene when they're actually doing like the gay wedding,
Yeah,
up in Canada? Rob Schneider is like, playing a very stereotypical little Asian man.
yeah.
Now, do you have the lings? Yeah. And every time that dude at my mom's wedding would say something about the rings, like I would look over my little sister and she was almost to the point of like cracking up, which made me get to the point of almost cracking. So like both, if there's any pictures from that wedding of like my mom and them standing up there while he's doing his whole, spiel, if you were to look at my sister's face or my face, you can see like we're beet red, just trying to hold it in. and like I'm pretty sure there's at least a couple times where my mom was giving both of us like the side eye, like if you fucking start cracking up laughing right now, I swear to God,
No, there was. I'm trying to remember who it was. They were talking about being at a funeral, and as they were carrying her out, and he goes, they said, I thought they said this cunt bit dropped some weight, and everyone started laughing, and they almost dropped the casket. I'm trying to remember who that was.
That's pretty funny.
I just remember the joke. I don't remember who said it.
No, like the one that I always think about when I think about like funeral jokes was about Bill Engvall talking about like all of a sudden they heard like a beer cracking in like the back pew. What? Oh. I'm running out of shit to talk about weddings because I'm a single guy. So, anything else you got to add to this, or?
Really.
Honeymooning. Where are you guys going to honeymoon with the Rona?
We are not going anywhere because there was no time to set anything up.
Well, I imagine you'd be taking it like after the ceremony, right? If you were to do one.
Yeah, it's pretty much we're going to get married and then go to Buffalo Wild Wings and then come home. That's pretty much it.
You guys don't even have like a Dave and Buster's up there? You got to settle for Buffalo Wild Wings? Really?
No, Dave and Buster's is in Billings. And we are not there. And that's too long of a drive for measly hours of entertainment.
Mr. Scott asked, would you try peanut butter whiskey?
Yes.
I don't know, dude. I tried root beer, and that was thoroughly disgusting. I don't know if I want to try peanut butter, any kind of alcohol, really.
You ever tried that ginger beer? Is it the Cock and Bulls?
No, I can't say that
Some
I
shit like
have.
that. It's not that good.
Yeah, I'd rather my beer taste like beer. I'd rather my whiskey taste like whiskey. You know, would you want, Mr. Scott? Would you want whiskey flavored peanut butter? If you answer
Yes.
yes, I'm gonna say that you should probably seek help. You get a problem somewhere in your life.
I
Because I,
would.
I always ask people like, "Hey, would you try this flavored thing?" It's like, would you try the exact opposite flavored thing? No. All right, then why are you asking me this?
I would do it.
I feel the same way about food. Like, was it not? Is that the one I remember? Was it not your dad's root beer? Yeah, I think that's the one I tried. And when you say wasn't that bad, it wasn't good either. That's the problem. Like I didn't get like I didn't really I got like a taste of root beer until like you actually swallow it, and then you get that beer aftertaste, which whew,
Uh, uh, yeah, could be a problem.
see, seek help, sir. He says yes in all caps. I mean, Fireball's all right, I guess, if you like, if you really like the taste of cinnamon, and you don't mind having like a bag full of hammers dropped on your skull in the morning. It's a lot of sugar in that one for my liking. I see we've gotten to the alcoholism section of the stream.
This is the celebratory part.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the reception.
This is the no hangover part of the bachelor party we're talking right here. And Mr. Dax, it's I think it'd only be unpopular here in America, that opinion, with men. With women, you'd go over like gangbusters because they'll drink the shit out of Fireball.
Actually, I will drink the shit out of Fireball too.
I rest my case.
They're cheap, so I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, I bet it is actually. I don't doubt that one bit, Mister. He says it's a nice drink in cold climate. Like I said, I really don't drink anymore. But if I were to, I wouldn't want like a cold beer on a hot day. I'd want I'd want a couple of shots of whiskey like on a cold day.
I'm going to tweet this out.
Have you still not chilled yet?
No, I did. I'm just I'll tag Mr. Scott in it.
I don't know why, but Twitter's talking about the Tyler Perry episode of the Boondocks again, and I'm laughing. Oh, I forgot to turn my ringer off. What the hell is that? Did you ever get to see that one, Johnny?
I haven't watched it. No.
I can't remember. I can't remember if that was season 2. I want to say that was season 2 or 3. But yeah, they went hard at Tyler Perry on an episode of the Boondocks, and it got pulled because Tyler Perry's a bitch.
Of course. Apparently, I didn't tweet it out.
I did.
No, the picture I just
Oh,
sent. I tweeted the picture, and it didn't go. So,
Mr. Scott just sent me. Are you at the liquor store right now? No, that one's half empty. Peanut butter whiskey, sheepdog peanut butter whiskey, sitting right next to. You're paying way too much for Fireball, my friend. I don't know about the sheepdog, but I would not be paying that much for Fireball. But then again, like I said, I'm not really a drinker, so somebody else is usually buying it. I'm just taking a nip off the top.
There. It's very poorly done because I don't have the alternate.
Is that Goldberg?
That is Goldberg.
I saw the shoulder tattoo. I was like, I know that one.
That is not the first picture I have used of putting my head on Goldberg.
I keep forgetting he's a big car guy.
Yeah.
You know what I forgot to do last week? I forgot to try and defend my title on Frosted's stream. You know what I forgot to do this week? Challenge for to retake the throne.
Yeah,
I was thinking this new job was going to be like early morning stuff. No, man, I'm going in at like 9 o'clock at night tonight.
Oh, so you do work tonight?
Yeah, I'm working tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday night. But it's all going to be like like after the store closes, and then I'm going to go in and stock stuff. So as to not risk catching or passing the Rona. It's like, you guys do realize you're not like sanitizing all the stuff these people have touched during the day, right?
We have to do that at night before the end of the shift.
Oh, with the second job?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's different, though. Like, I'm working at a retail place. Imagine if they had you wiping down all the appliances at your first job. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Yesterday, I went in. I was scheduled to work Friday on my like computer-based learning, training stuff. And supposed to actually come in and help unload the truck yesterday. Well, there's a lot of miscommunication. I'm already thinking like this job's going to be kind of going to have to try and make the best of it because it's not looking too great so far. When I got the job, the boss told me, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll have you come in Thursday and do the training. I get there Thursday. It's like, no, I put you on the schedule for Friday. I come back Friday. She's not there. It's an assistant manager. It's like, okay, well, we can't get you logged in. Like I tried a couple different times and like, all right, well, just come back tomorrow. We'll have you do that before the truck. So I didn't actually do anything on the truck yesterday, and I still have a couple of those computer-based learnings to do. Their
Nice.
internet, it was so fucking shit, dude. I had to do one like 5 times. All it was just watching the video, and as soon as you click next, you get like it's like, hey, you passed. You managed to stay conscious for 5 minutes and click a button. Well, every time I would click the button, it would just give me the wheel of death. So I'd just close out of it and start it all over again.
Just have to watch the same video repeatedly.
Yeah. And most of their training stuff is stuff that, if you've worked any kind of like warehouse job or retail job, this shit already. And, it's like, OSHA compliance with, like fire extinguishers or, electrical panels or, keeping walkways clear, all common sense stuff. And I spent 3 hours doing what should have taken like an hour. Because I think they've still got they may have gotten those computers after Y2K, but I'm not sure. Oh, Mr. Dax is saying that your face rig is stroking out there.
Yeah, my neck popped, so I had to. Well, I was also trying to see if my eyes could cross. So that's a stupid thing I was doing.
Gotcha.
Because your eyes follow from the camera. So like I'm looking at the camera here, And now I'm looking at the screen. Camera?
It looks like a little Stevie Wonder cat going on right there. Did you happen to watch Saturday Night Live last night?
I did not.
Have you seen any of the clips of it yet?
I saw headlines.
I saw a clip. They did like a debate. I don't know if that was like their opening deal, like their cold opening or whatever. But they had Alec Baldwin as Trump and Jim Carrey as Biden up on the debate stage. And I'll give Jim Carrey credit. You know, he did a pretty good impression of like Biden, like the voice and everything. You know, some of the facial stuff. But it wasn't funny. Like I could see the jokes they were making, and like, you know, I guess if I were, you know, if I hated Trump, I'd think they were funny, but I just, yeah. It's pretty much Jim Carrey's just sitting there, like, you know, as Biden, wishing for Trump's death from Corona.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and what's weird is like,
so Jim Carrey
maybe
is playing Jim Carrey.
pretty much. You know, Wallace was actually being played by I think one of the actual SNL players. I don't remember his name though. But yeah, you know, if I were an SNL cast member, I'd be kind of pissed they keep outsourcing those bits to, you know, A-list actors.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, they used to. I mean, like Chevy Chase was on an SNL cast member, and he did like Gerald Ford, but he was a cast member when he was doing that. I mean, how many different candidates and whatnot did Phil Hartman end up playing? I wonder. Or no, Daryl Hammond.
Daryl Hammond did Clinton.
Yeah, yeah. Did he also do McCain?
Maybe. I know he did Chris Matthews.
Oh yeah, he, you know,
His Chris Matthews was fucking amazing.
Well, my question, Mr. Scott, is how funny was SNL back in the day? Because like maybe I'm just looking at it through like nostalgia from, you know, like 80s and 90s, you know, maybe even like early 2000s. You know, I mean, how many of Eddie Murphy's SNL sketches were really like, you know, knocking it out of the park? Sweaty Balls was a good one. That was pretty funny. I'll give that one. You remember the Sweaty Balls sketch?
I do remember Sweaty Balls.
But that was funny because it's like they were making fun of like the NPR listener types and whatnot. I think comedy gets pretty lazy when it comes to politics. No one's willing to do the work of going after both sides.
No. I'm pretty sure if you found someone willing enough to tell like anti-Obama jokes in the previous 8 years, you would probably see them blacklisted from anything after that.
Yeah, but like all the major political figures, and then that's probably a good point, Mr. Scott. They need the stars to bring in the ratings. Because like, didn't they have like Matt Damon playing like Kavanaugh?
Yeah, I think so.
The funniest thing about Matt Damon is like the South Park creators making fun of Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Exactly. Mr. Scott, in the 90s, I think I would laugh at every other skit. Now, maybe once.
In the hour. Like,
yeah, like the funniest thing for me from watching that one with the Jim Carrey was like, wow, it almost looks like Fire Marshal Bill. Almost. Yeah. That was the funniest part for me. Like, I just kept waiting for like him to like in Joe Biden's voice be like, "Now let me show you something." You know.
Yeah, did you see? I don't remember who tweeted it out, but they showed Johnny Carson telling a Joe Biden joke.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like he's been a joke for like at least 30 of the 40 some odd years he's been in government.
Yeah.
He's run multiple times for president. He's never won because he's a shitty candidate. You know, like 88, he had to drop out for plagiarism.
Yeah, and I think that's the one that the Carson was joking
Yeah,
about. And the
yeah.
punchline was in a statement he released. He's like, "Yeah, we have nothing to
We have
fear."
nothing to fear but fear ourselves. Yeah. Like who all did he like? He plagiarized Kennedy. He plagiarized like a British MP.
Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, it was Bobby Kennedy, not Jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
The punchline was from JFK.
No, the punchline's from FDR.
FDR. Okay. God, what the hell was I thinking?
But did he also plagiarize Jonathan Swift, or did somebody else do that satirically? I can't remember. I might be smoking a little too much weed. I'll fully admit, because I remember somebody doing that and them getting all up in arms about it, but I think it was a joke. So it probably wasn't Biden.
90% of anyone but Hillary Clinton could have won 2016. Although Hillary would have won 2016 if she, and I quote for the 100th time,
but Johnny, she did win in 2016. She had 3 million more votes.
And the electorate thought elsewise.
Yeah, well, you know, no one wants to point out like those 3 million some odd votes came from like California and New York.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take out like 2 counties in 2 states, she did not win.
Well, it looks like I am going to have to call it.
Time to go get hitched.
Time to get dressed and then get that shit taken care of.
Well, I'm fairly confident this is the most depressing bachelor party in all of human history, and we have it saved for posterity. So,
if it had gone the way I was thinking it was going to go, it would have been a Jackbox stream last night. But it didn't work out the way I was thinking.
Yeah, I crashed out shortly after you sent that message to like me and Della to see about possibly streaming. I was like, no, sir. Boom. But nah, dude, it's been fun hanging out. Definitely pass on all of our well wishes to the new missus.
And I might, if I can get a game over on my laptop, I'll be streaming again tonight.
Okay. Well, I mean, if there's ever a day to take off streaming, it might be your wedding day. Just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, just remember, like all of this is recorded and on the internet. So, I mean, you know, you ever upset Mrs. Hellcat enough, she's gonna have plenty of evidence for the divorce lawyer.
Well, if she does hear this, just remember that and I'm frozen. Okay, I can hold my breath that much. There's a glitch. My network's going down. It wasn't me. It was my cat. It was you.
Well, you better go ahead and wrap this up. So, since you said you were going to, you're kind of on a deadline here, and we have a tendency to go well past whenever we're going to wrap up.
We do have a bad habit of that, so we will have to call it now. So.
You really don't want to be late for your own wedding.
Yeah, because of streaming.
not an auspicious start. So yeah.
So yeah.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for wishing Johnny a happy marriage. I think Sora's the only one that did that actually, because she's a woman and she likes weddings. But I'm sure the rest of us intended to say something nice. Ain't that right, guys?
There's Mr. Scott's. That's as close as you're gonna get from a guy. Like,
yeah. So thanks for coming by, everybody.
and
I need to get that clip from Family Guy for the play me off, Johnny. Dun, 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 dun.